How's it going? And today, wait, there's like wires sticking about. Today, we'll be talking about social circles. Now, I'm aware. It's a very good looking man you got there. I know, a bit of a different hairstyle. There's no hair on that head. You have no hair in your head. Now, banter aside, I want to talk about social circles. Now, I'm not calling myself a guru, but right now I am a Shaolin. I don't know what's giving it off. Maybe it's the jacket, right? Now, I hear a lot of stories, especially from the Americans, right? Where when they want to go for socials, right, it's always the pub, right? Or maybe it's in a party. But when I hear this, it feels such an expensive, like, plan. Because not only they have to drink like a lot of maybe beers, or for the Japanese, like a very, well, I wouldn't say undercover, but like a secret nomikai, even though they haven't reached 20, and I guess like for Malaysians maybe, what they would do is that maybe they would go to this very, we call it like, I mean, it's still called like hanging out, but like lepa, in my opinion, which is again hanging out, has changed because now if people lepa, it's like the idea of it's always at nighttime, and then they would like be there for such a long time, and yeah, they would just hanging about, maybe sometimes until dawn. And is that good? Well, I'm here to break it down, right? So I'll be frank, when I was in my uni days, I wasn't really that lonely. I wasn't really that lonely because I keep myself very busy. Right, I keep myself very busy because I joined debate club, I joined basketball club, I joined taekwondo, and in the midst of it, I'm already in a secret Japanese culture club. Right. So from there on, you can tell that, oh, I'm not just gonna stick to one area. Like, even if I have, like, if I finish my class, because as a uni student, right? Surprisingly, people would say, oh, I'm so busy because I have a lot of assignments. That's not true. If anything, they would rather uh, at, like, clear out their time for hanging out than doing their work. It's only when they don't want to deal with you they'll say that they're busy. So, as you can see, there's like a power struggle around there when it comes to like studies um, and uh, and and yeah, and hanging out, right? So I'll be frank. When I was in uni, now again, this is for me to tell to everyone as to why social circles isn't that difficult, right? Yes, even though I did like point out, oh yeah, I definitely touch grass, or in Elden Ring, I touch grace, right? But here's what people need to understand: you don't have to go out and like really put your body in stress, and hey, if you're a beer guy, hey man, I love beer. Sure, like I guess knock yourself out, but I would still advise you not to. It's still a health hazard, if I'm being really honest. And in case of people who loves to, in the Malaysian term lipa, um I you know what, I guess if that makes you happy, but I would still not agree, because like your sleep is gone, right? And you're basically an owl. Well, I don't know about owls, but I guess you're a koala, because you sleep in a different time zone than other people, right? That's because I'm a gamer. uh well, gamers is a different thing, but then people who lipa is different, right? Now, why did I bring those up? Am I saying that, oh, I'm a great basketball player? I'm not only half Michael Jordan, I'm also half Jackie Chan, and half Ben Shapiro at the same time. I'm basically the avatar when it comes to every single skills in the world. Just put me in a cooking club and I'm able to rival Gordon Ramsay, right? But no, we're not here to rival every icon in the world, right? Wink, wink, right? But I want to say that although I'm not really good at all of them, right? I was still able to feel like, oh, I have my pride, right? I have my pack. And what I mean by pride as in is the lion term, like how lions, when they have like a lot of people around, yeah, it's basically, well, I say people, it's lions. Like there's people around you. You don't really, again, you don't really have to put your body in stress. I know. The thing is, the reason why I bring this up, because I used to do a lot of lipa as well. Now, is it bad? No, it's not bad unless you mediate and you regulate on how you lipa. Like, for example, you go outside, you hanging out with your buds, right? And since we're Muslim and we're Malaysian, right? The thing about lipa is that sometimes when you're about to, like, I'm about to cash out and stuff, they would be like, kenapa awal lagi, like, come on, man, drink a cup of tea. Speaking of cup of tea, should pour one myself. Oh yeah, I wanna see if I could. Yeah, I wonder if it picks up the sound, right? Let's see. Yeah, I got myself tea right here. Yeah, perfect timing. I know. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna pick up. Yeah. Yeah, but basically they just don't want to let you go, which is very endearing because I guess it goes to show that they love your company. But it's also really bad because right now you're putting their wants ahead of yours, and what's more important is apparently theirs at that moment. So that's a little bit not good, right? And I used to do that a lot. It was to the point that I would come back home just for the sake of sleeping for like 30 minutes or an hour, and then I have to prep myself to go to classes, and that's not really good, right? That's not really good. And not only that, I have like terrible sleep. I have like, uncontrolled acne and stuff. Yeah, because of your hormones. It's not really good. Everyone get your hours. Clock those hours not only for work but for sleep too. That is a job. A responsibility for your own, body. It deserves healthy and good working hormones. So that way, you look good. You look like the drip, right? Again, I used to do that a lot too. But then eventually, I have to put my foot down, right? I have to put the cup down, right, and say, hey, you know, enough is enough for today. Y'all can go as long as you want, although not really advised. But I'm gonna go and get a shut eye. I'm not gonna here hanging about, right? I rather have my sleep, right? And that is way more important because, yes, in case of lepa, I guess in some senses is way better than like a American or a Japanese sort of hangout, because yeah, they would tell you, oh, drink more, like, oh, moikai, one more drink. And yeah, again, that's not really good for you, not good for your liver and whatnot, right? So and hey, this is just my own opinion. If you love your beer, if you love your sake, it is fine, okay? But in case, but this is just me as a person. We are okay to disagree with one another, all right? It's okay to disagree, agree to disagree, all right? Now, as a Malaysian, although we don't drink beer and stuff, it's still not healthy that we just order food, even though it's snacks, or we order drinks just so that we could stay a bit longer, or we don't eat or drink. We just like sleep deprive ourselves because, oh yeah, our mate said to not leave the table because we're leaving a bit too early, even though it's 12 a.m. It's 12 a.m. already. Again, we ask ourselves, okay, when is the right time? Okay? And I'm gonna be frank, the right time is when, I don't know, you're gonna get less sleep if this keeps going on, or like, okay, the conversation is already kind of over, everyone is already about to be done, or they're just like sitting about. Those moments where like everyone is sitting about and it's like very, very long empty air. People would say, oh yeah, everyone's quite silent right now, even though we have like a good run just now. We had like great conversations not too long ago, but now it's just like empty Texas. I don't know what's really going on. If empty Texas is going on, I think it's a good green light to just go home and grab some shut eye, because that, in a way, it goes to shows that y'all are basically up and ready. yes, I do know the term that, hey, if everyone is silent with one another, it means they're comfortable. But I feel like people should be comfortable enough where, I don't know, hey man, I'm comfortable enough to say I need to get some sleep. So, adios, amigo. Yeah, that's how it should be, okay? Right? Because if we're going to be comfortable, I need to be friend with you, my man. Like I need some sleep. All right? So, yes, okay. Now, that's at like the hanging outside, but now with clubs, right? Because again, I'm speaking with unis, and heck, hey, even with schools too. And I guess if we also want to integrate with work, right? There is no such thing as like, oh, once once I enter work, it's all over. No, because I do know places where they do martial arts during nighttime or during the afternoon or during the evening, right? Because again, let's be honest, people don't do just martial arts in the outdoors anymore. We're not here living in the 1800s. We're pretty good, right? We are very versatile. We don't just do them outside. We could do them inside, but you'd be like, hey man, dude, like I can't do martial arts. I hate martial arts. It's not about you really trying to do martial arts. You get me? Now I know I know it sounds very like disgenuine, like ingenuine. Sorry, ingenuine. But again, you really have nothing to lose when you do martial arts. Number one, you get your cardio in. Number two, you get a little bit of discipline. And number three, you get like a new perspective on like a practice that you initially didn't really like, but maybe in due time you may at least learn to appreciate or something. But then eventually, but like the main goal is that at the very least you're able to converse with some of your practicing mates. Isn't that cool? Right. So I mean, for me, the reason why I joined my taekwondo is because I really love martial arts. For me, that was at the right time. That was at the right time where I'm like, oh, I mean, oh, taekwondo club is there. Oh, cool. I guess I'll join, right? And yeah, and I had a great time with taekwondo club, and with basketball club. Basketball club is also the same with taekwondo, where it just falls in line to what I like, and it just it's all good times. And again, this is not for me to say, hey, you should do martial arts, you should do this. But what I'm trying to say is that whether it's physical, right, or something that's indoors or something that's social, like I did debate club, right? I'll be honest, when I joined debate club, I don't like debating, right? I like arguing, I like discussing, but I don't like debating, because again, when you're debating, it's not really for us to find a middle ground. It's for me to win this argument with any means possible, even if it means lying, right? At least with an argument, you stand by with your facts and your moral code, whereas in debates, you don't. It's best to not really hold to anything. Like you got to be very solemn. You got to be very, in a way, you have to be hollow from within to accept everything, if that makes sense. I don't know. Yeah, basically, you must not have any attachment. You got to be, you got to be at peace. You got to be at peace, like Shaolin. And like, again, you don't really have to go for debate club. You don't really have to go for basketball club. Heck, you don't even have to go for taekwondo club, right? All you got to do is do something that has a lot of people that's doing it. For example, maybe you want to do a book club, or maybe you want to do some dancing club. Sure, right? Because again, it's not really about like, oh, I gotta commit to this because we need to go to nationals, my man. Like, dude, like this tournament, we have to win it for the world to see. No, it doesn't have to be about that. What I'm saying is that, what was very, you could say, convenient, was that all the things that I wanted was there, and it just so happened that there's like a lot of people that was, practicing it, taekwondo, basketball, right? And again, whatever that falls in line to what you love, go ahead. Karate, sure. Swords, medieval weaponry, sure, as long as you like it. Or maybe if you're such a curious, like a curious George, like you just, okay, I know curious George means monkey, but if you're like very curious, right, then go ahead. Oh, you know what, I always wanted to do this, I'm very curious about this, so that I'm gonna join it. You'd be surprised, because like I always want to join like a book club, right? And if you're asking why, because I want to see why people like reading books. I don't know why people like reading books. I feel like people like you guys are not human. I'm gonna say it. You guys are not human, right? Prove me otherwise. I shall wait, right? Again, I don't want people, by the time they get out of uni, when they go for a doctor check, oh my god, your cholesterol is top of the roof. What's going on? Right? And I'm not telling people that, hey, be healthy or blah, blah, blah. I mean, yes, I am. But at the same time, when I hear people that are like very like to this state in health, and I ask why, oh yeah, because during my uni days, I drink a lot of beer. Oh man, those Bandweisers, man, are like, oh man, back then when I have to hang out with people, I gotta order snacks during my Lipak days. It is what it is. No, it is not. It is what it is. We gotta regulate. We have to regulate. And it starts with what you like. And heck, even if maybe you don't know what you like, start something. Book club, anything, as long as it gets the conversation going, right? Hey man, I'm an otaku. Well, here's me trying to impersonate you guys. Hey man, I'm an otaku and I just love anime. Guys, an otaku isn't something that you revolve on your whole life. Yes, otaku is a part of you, but that shouldn't be your number one character trait. You could be anything. You don't just dial into one focus thing. Right? You're more than that, right? And let's just say the most bottom common denominator, you're a true otaku through and through. Like there's nothing that makes you way more excited than anime, right? And then in that case, right? Why not start your own club of making an anime club and make friends, right? And I know some of you, oh no, we otakus, we don't need friends. You say that for now. You say that for now, and eventually it'll bite you back. Trust me on this one. It'll bite you back. Because again, there's no such thing as a person. Sorry about that, but there is no such thing as a person that just could accept loneliness. You accept the concept and realize that being lonely out of crappy and toxic things, yeah, that's pretty good. But with the good things that we have, right, you want those, right? That's what we want, right? So that's what I really want to say. I don't know, I don't like hearing stories where in their uni days they have to sacrifice literally their health and like their mental fortitude just because they gotta stay in the curve. They just gotta stay in line with what everyone is doing because that's what everyone is doing. I gotta pop out a quick one. I gotta do this, I gotta do that, even though you don't like it, or maybe it could be like a health detriment. I don't want that to happen to you guys. I want things to be even if it's tiring or even if it's physically taxing, as long as you get people, because again, it's not about again, what people don't realize is that no one is asking for you to master that skill. Okay, no one's really asking you to master that. All what you should need is that curiosity and that will to do so, right? If you're good at it, that's by a byproduct. That's cool, right? And if you get to go to great competitions or if you get like any sort of like adventures out of it, that's out of a byproduct. But the main goal is to have people that like the same thing with you and you hang out with them. Right. I know people that has friends because of esports club. I know people, who has friends because of environment club. I don't know how they make activities in environment club. I'm being really honest with you guys. I don't know, but it exists, right? I'm so sorry. Like good tea. Again, it exists and stuff. And it goes to show that it's just not impossible, right? And what life has taught me is that if things put you in pain for you to get something, I feel like something is kind of wrong, But hey, man, martial arts also kind of puts you in pain. Well, that's a different story. Like I'm a little bit biased on that one. But it's a different type of pain, At least that's pain, that makes you stronger or much more aware. Where this pain is internal, and stuff. So yeah, it's different, No, it's different. I don't know. That's a little bit different. But yeah, that's really it for me. I just want people to have like good social groups. I want people to have good social groups. And again, I'm not saying I'm a social guru and stuff, but again, I don't want people to sacrifice their good life. You don't really have to go to clubs. You don't really have to go lip up till the break of dawn. You don't have to. There needs to be regulation. There needs to be a median where you're like, okay, this is the limit. That's enough, right? And and in case of like trying to fill up your time to really like optimize your extra time, go and do something physical or something that you love doing or something that you've never tried and you want to do so to do that. There's no such thing as a terrible idea if it's coming from somewhere that's nice. If it comes from something that's very very wholesome. So that's pretty, again, I know I've said this multiple times. Yeah, that's really it for me. I just want people to to not put their health in risk just because you want mates. Because to get mates from somewhere should be, again, as a byproduct, not something that holds you down, or something that is like physically taxing but in a very unhealthy way. Because martial arts and sports is physically taxing, and I can see the argument, but it's physically taxing in a healthy light, because you're not gonna do those physical acts. You're not gonna do those physical acts by consuming or anything. It's you doing cardio. It's you learning your body composition, right? And not only that, there's nothing to lose. There's nothing to lose if you do a bit of sports. There's nothing to lose if you do a little bit of martial arts. You can protect yourself and everything, be it guy or girl or anything in between. Anything. You're good. I'm gonna say it. I sound biased, because I said about like, you can't be in pain and stuff. I think martial arts is different because it pain that teaches you. It's not pain that lingers, Because like, with like tell me this, guys, okay? Like, no offense, guys. I know I did say no offense, but like, if you have like a very terrible liver problem, that's gonna stay. That's gonna stay. Am I right, guys? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All right. So I'm gonna really stop right now. Thanks for watching. And yeah. Catch you later in the flip side.